Alright, another response video to this Spinney guy right over here. You know, I don't know why he had to make another video, but whatever. Yeah, it's not going to be good anyway.
You say that inheritance is not earned money, so taking from them isn't theft. That's completely beside the point.
I'm sorry. How people get their money, and using the word earned, there can't be any other point. So if you're going to talk about people earning money and it being their money, then I guess that would be not beside the point, but exactly the point.
I'm trying to make. Okay, let's say that inheritance is not earned money, and it's not theft to take their money. What about the people who actually earned the money? What about...
Yeah, exactly. Well, I couldn't have made that clear either. I said once we fix the starting line, then we can start talking about a merit system. All right, and where there would then things like flat taxation would make some sense. Then some kind of, you know, you use it, you abuse it, you waste it, then it's your problem kind of attitude. But there's no point in having that discussion until there's a fair starting line. So if you're going to have, you know, that's, and I made that clear. So, I mean, obviously you just don't care to listen to the video, all right? No, you really don't.
Of them. Okay, so you're just making a diversion, trying to pick apart. Oh well, if they inherited it, then it's not really theft. What about if they?
I'm getting to the core of the issue. Okay, so yes, there's like I said, there's no argument here. I made it clear in the video. So what's this bullshit? All right, you want to have the discussion about merit and what people have earned and what is fair taxation? Well, then you can have that discussion when we're talking about fair income.
Didn't inherit it. What if they actually earned it? Is it theft then?
Well, it's not theft if we as a society make a decision. So, I mean, you go a step further. I would argue that, yes, that's a legitimate consideration when it comes to government. But if you're going to say that all government is theft, all right, that all deciding as a collective that this is what we're going to do as a collective, like as a neighborhood committee, and say, well, look, this is the way it is. 60% of the people in the neighborhood say they want this. This is what we're going to do. Then the 40% have to get dragged along. That's right. If the 60% in the neighborhood say there's not going to be any pig farms on our street, well, then you're out of luck. That's right. It's not anarchy. So, I mean, you go so far to the fucking right that, you know, this can't be a rational discussion because you're going to imply a standard for your stupid theft rhetoric that doesn't have anything to do with the original video, which was proportional taxation. All right, doesn't have anything. We're not talking. We're talking about progressive versus regressive taxation. We're not talking about anarchy, asshole.
It's not. You say it's not your money. It's the government's money. If the government someday says you owe them back, they have that right. So if I devote 70 years of my life toward working and I build a savings account, the government has every right to wipe me out and take all my savings.
Well, that's not what the government does, and you goddamn know it first. You know, unless you're done, you're dead. You know, then it has a right, in my opinion, to take the money. That's right, because no one's earned it anymore. The earner is dead. The guy who earned possession of the driver's license is dead. His driver's license dies with him. It's the same kind of thing. Yeah, and so we're talking about the income generated. We're not talking about taxing or taking your savings. We're talking about the income derived from your savings, and whether that income should be taxed lower than the income derived from some guy sweating and doing work and being horribly inconvenienced.
And spend it on, you know, the president's next mansion.
Oh, whatever. I mean, what, you think the White House is just sucking up a whole bunch of money, you know, cutting the grass there and whatnot? Or do you actually think that the government is building Obama a mansion somewhere? I mean, come on, asshole.
If not, then by what portion does the government have a right to make me be a slave laborer to them?
And again, you're going to use this silly rhetoric. You're not a slave laborer. You're a huge beneficiary of investments that have been made. If the government didn't build the Hoover Dam, you know, the tons of productive agriculture would have never taken place. You know, whole migrations of population, Silicon Valley, all this shit would never have happened. If the government hadn't invested in this infrastructure, a national highway system. I mean, you go down the list of these things that needed to get invested in, that we needed to do as a collective to have a civilization that you're benefiting from, you jackass.
What portion of my income do they have the right to just completely take from me? 90%?
Again, well, I guess it's all kind of proportional. The point is, right now, we owe $13 trillion in recognized debt, and there's another 7 or 8 trillion that's hasn't been seen. It's there, but we just don't see it yet. The IOUs are written in invisible ink, and that's the reality. So yeah, maybe it's going to require some sort of dramatic thing to ever pay this fucking money back to your rich capitalist buddies.
80%, 70%, 60%.
Blah 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 blah. Or you this big a jackass, or you're this big a jackass, or you're that big a jackass. How big a jackass are you? Blah blah blah. I mean, come on, make a rational point.
Where's the line? Then you say, where do you get the 25% of an efficiency statistic from? That's once again beside the point.
Oh yeah, it's beside the point whether this bullshit rhetoric has anything to do with reality, which it doesn't. And so that's just your game. It's not about the truth. It's about a manipulation. I'm trying to talk about the truth. What underlies value in the system? What should be rewarded in the system? What's a rational definition? You're saying, no, us little weaselly guys who want to steal people's money and play our little rackety capitalist games, we've decided that's the new standard for what should be successful. And I could just simply argue, no, let's just go, I think it's a much better idea to just go back to the might makes right thing, and we'll just let bigger people kick the shit out of little spindly little guys.
Completely besides the point. I'm trying to point out that there is no consistent moral principle behind this rationale.
Well, I'm sorry, it's not about a moral principle in the first place. It's about an ethics. And that's how you define a baseball game, okay, or a football game. You impose rules, okay, that basically try to take out all the unfairnesses, all the little cheats, all the little bullshit, and you try to make it a real merit system where you have to do the performance. You have to do your job better than the other guy's doing his job for you to get the win, for you to get the touchdown or to score the victory and all that kind of crap. It's a merit system. This is not a merit system, okay? We reward people for falling out of vaginas. That's fucktarded. You can't figure out that that's fucktarded.
And now I could very well show you how welfare is only around 25 to... Actually, last time I calculated around 25%.
Oh, you calculated it. Brilliant. I wonder if you took into the calculation the fact that most all charitable organizations, they'll use the information, they'll use the standards applied by the federal government to decide whether somebody's eligible and whether somebody's really a crook or they're deceiving a system. I mean, Social Security has to pay to do all the evaluations to decide whether somebody's really disabled. Welfare, they have to go look at these people's houses and you have to check and see if they're not cheating and they got some kind of side income. There's lots more expenses when you're doing that stuff. When you have to do the enforcement crap on top of just the distribution crap, it gets a little more fucking complicated, asshole.
Efficient. I could show you these statistics, but that's beside the point.
It's not beside the point if you got real valid statistics. But what's besides the point is that you don't have valid statistics. You're just a game player. You're just a weasel trying to find a rationalization for absolute fucking nonsense because you got a little hard-on for little Joey Richman. I mean, you want to fuck Elmer Fudd or something, I mean, because you want to get on that you want to be a millionaire and have a yacht.
The point is it legitimately excuse me, is it legitimate for me to hold up a gun against someone's head and take their money that they earned?
Okay, here again, you're going to keep saying they earned, but that's not what most income is derived from, and it's certainly not what we are taxing the most heavily. We're taxing hard work at a higher rate than we're taxing income derived from dividends and legacy ownership. All right, and the original video was about the evil of progressive taxation, which is a tiny percentage of all taxation in the economy. So that's the bullshit of this argument. So you're the one way the fuck off the subject. And I can make all kinds of analogies. Again, so if we deny Mark McGwire's son the right to play baseball, that's like we've stolen from him. We've ripped him from his legacy, his right. He has a right to be there. Is that your argument, that we've taken a gun and shot him in the head because we said, no, you got to earn it, asshole? Fuck you.
Inherited, take their earned money as long as I use a portion of that money toward helping out other people. Is it legitimate for me to do that?
Well, again, it's what do you believe in democracy or you don't believe in democracy is the first question. The idea of whether it's fair or not is another question, and that's the bottom line question that we were arguing, is the fairness of it. We weren't arguing whether you believe in democracy or not, or whether you'd rather live in some sort of stupid anarchy where I can just burn your house down if I feel like it. I mean, this is just such nonsense. Who finances government, asshole, and how does it get financed? That's the question. You want to argue some other subject?
So, then by what portion do I have to devote that money toward helping out other people? 25%? 50%? 75%?
It just kind of depends on whether you're paying the bills or not, doesn't it? I mean, in the first place, you're going to have to pay a higher percentage if you borrow money, so you got to quit borrowing money and pay your damn taxes. And in the second place, it depends on whether you're taking the money from the other guy. So if we're not going to tax the rich, if we're only going to tax them 10 or 12 or 15% on their